Hello there, you fabulous Fujoshi and you fantastic Fudanshi, and welcome back to the channel. I am once again joined by the star-tacular Stella Luna.
Hello!
And today, we're going to be talking all about Heroines Run the Show, Episode 7. Before we do, though, let's see if we can't get this video to 150 likes before the end of the week. I bet you could probably do it. Fingers crossed. I think so. But with that said, let's go ahead and jump into it. Where to start? How about Nagisa?
Yeah, Nagisa, has now come to visit, is now in town.
He's a real boy.
He's a real boy. He is a real boy. And, oh boy.
Oh boy is
boy.
the exact thing to say. I was like, oh my.
We instantly have tension. Instantly with Lip and Nagisa.
There was tension between Nagisa and I. I was like right away like I don't like this dude.
Like my first impression of Nagisa when we kind of see like the tension and everything like going down in the beginning, I was under the assumption that Nagisa probably likes Hiyori and is somebody who is not afraid, but was very like, I know who these guys are. This is Lip, right? Because he's totally like, obviously he's in the idols because he came to see FT4, right?
Yes, even though there's 5 of them.
Even though there's 5 of them.
Why are they called Four Town if there's 5 of them?
There's 5 of them. But anyways, yeah, and more than likely he just automatically sees them as competition.
Yes.
Right? And I mean, I would probably be scared too if my childhood friend was now close to 2 idol boys.
I'd be a little nervous, right?
Wouldn't you not be a little nervous? Would you be a little afraid?
I would definitely be nervous. Like, my issue with Nagisa, like, my primary issue with Nagisa, right? Mm-hmm. Because, like, for the most part, I actually really like him, right? Like, especially towards the end of the episode, but we'll get there. But, like, I liked Nagisa. My issue was I really didn't appreciate how he was talking to my boys, right?
Yeah.
Because it made it seem like his character was going to be the new obstacle, and that he was going to try to take Hiyori away.
Which isn't what happens.
Which is not what happens. But that was my big concern, because that's very easily where they could have gone with it.
Oh, and I'm so glad they didn't.
I'm really glad they didn't. That would have been super annoying.
It was pleasantly a surprise that they didn't go there. And I do think it's a normal reaction for him to be a little nervous, right?
A little upset,
that these 2 boys that he knows that are Lip are like with Hiyori all the time, right?
Yeah.
And you know how girls are over idols. Like, I would be afraid too.
Oh yeah, you know? No, I would be nervous, right? Like, the thing that like I appreciate is that he, like, it seems like he gets it towards the end, right? Like, he understands, because for, like, I was gonna say, like, now boys, listen. I was like, there's no boys watching this. But if there were boys watching this, listen. If your partner is like, that you're dating is in a situation where they are surrounded by, like, other attractive people, you should probably trust your partner. Right?
Yeah.
Because your partner probably really likes you a lot, so you really don't have much to worry about. Whereas with Nagisa, the difference with Nagisa is that he's not with Hiyori, right? At least not yet.
Not yet. And
I do think they're an endgame thing.
Yes. I freaking loved when the boys and Nagisa were sitting in the room, and like they went to their work, to the office, and they're sitting there, and Hiyori goes somewhere else. She goes to talk to like the manager and the producer lady, right? And they have this like conversation, like the boys and Nagisa have this conversation of like talking about Hiyori, and they know they can push his buttons, and they're pushing them. They push him just right to the point where he goes, I like her!
Well, right? And I love that they're like, yeah, we know.
Yeah, we know. Well, I also do like the reaction of the boys to this, right?
Yeah.
They're not jealous at all. They probably are a little worried because they're like,
That's their friend.
it's their friend, and like they have every right to be a little worried too, right? But they're not jealous. They're not sitting there being like, oh, some other dude, like, we clearly like Hiyori and he's getting in our way.
Yeah,
right?
I think that this episode really squashes the, like, will they, won't they of, like, Lip and Hiyori. Like, I think it's pretty, at this point, like, pretty secure that, like, if you ship them, you now know that it's not going to be canon.
Yeah.
Right? Which, again, like, ships don't have to be canon. In fact, most of the canon ships are kind of boring. So...
but my ship is Hiyori and Lip, just all three of them.
Yeah, but this, like, but now you know.
There's no one or the other. There's not one or the other. It is all of them or nothing.
Yeah, all of them as a trio.
As a trio.
They're gonna just be
like,
poly.
I am. My life is not about the poly life, but like.
When it comes to the characters I like, absolutely.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I've read manga that had a poly ending, I guess. Except it was weird because it was twin brothers and a girl.
Never mind. Don't.
So that was.
I was with you, and then I wasn't anymore.
Well, it was a little weird. I'm not gonna lie. If you know the manga, you know the manga.
There's gonna be. I was gonna say there's gonna be comments of like, oh, that's blah blah blah, right? Like.
Probably. But but we find out that Nagisa does, in fact, like Hiyori, which was pretty obvious, honestly, to begin with, that he did, right?
Yeah.
And you know what? Nagisa's a good-looking dude.
He is.
Right?
He's a very attractive-looking dude. He's very kind towards Hiyori, not so much the boys, but again, it's pretty understandable. I think given time, he'll probably be a friend of theirs, like especially since they're kind of setting up that like. He's gonna end up in Tokyo one day, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's like he'll likely be friends with the boys like later.
Are we setting up a season 2?
Couldn't we please set up a season 2?
That'd be nice.
That'd be nice.
Mean, it's always possible if it's actually doing well in Japan.
That's the thing, is that we don't have the metrics yet, so it's like I would love to know how the show is doing in Japan. Do we have any Japanese viewers? I know that Japanese fans do watch the channel. So if anybody knows, let us know.
Is it wildly popular in Japan? Because if it is, then we might be getting a season 2.
Yeah, then hooray.
Because nobody cares about what the West thinks.
It's true.
If it's popular in the West, it just matters if it's popular in Japan, right?
My Hero Academia. Sorry. What was that?
I don't know. You just coughed. Are you okay?
Yeah, just
you getting a little bit of
I'm trying to jump
there?
through in My Hero. Anyway, what were we talking about?
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, so they go to the concert. Things, are good, right? The boys end up leaving because they're
salty.
They're salty. Which is so. I love when they get salty now. I'm just like because they're little shits. That's what I love about the boys. I love that Aizo and Yujiro are both, or Yujiro.
Yujiro, yeah.
Yeah. I just blanked on his name for a second there. I love that they just get so salty sometimes, and they're so sarcastic and so like. Back it up, when they were poking fun at Nagisa. Fucking Aizo looks back at the camera, caught me way off guard.
Oh, at the very end of the episode? Yeah, like, at the end of the episode, you mean?
Was it at the end of the episode?
It was at the very end, when he, like, looks back at the camera after making fun of Hiyori.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was at the end
But that's what I mean, like, where it's like, they're so smug that they're like, you see this shit?
You see this shit?
They looked back at the camera, like, you see this?
Funny. Anyways, I don't know why I thought it was earlier. Because they were sitting in the same spot, I guess.
It was like, they were back in the office.
Yeah, but anyways, so they go to the concert. Boys go home or to the office or whatever because they're salty. And they go back to Hiyori's place for dinner, right?
Oh, God.
And I could not believe the balls that Nagisa had to just fucking say it.
Mm-hmm.
I was impressed. I was so I love that they just cut right to the chase.
Yes, I gave him huge kudos for that. I was like,
Yeah.
yes, because again, I do like Nagisa. He's this attractive boy. He's really sweet to Hiyori. He can cook. They grew up together.
He's
right?
actually
like he's
quite
responsible.
smart. Like
he's smart. Yeah. Like,
I will give this show credit that like the characters aren't just stupid.
yeah.
Right? Like they just caught, and like, you know, Nagisa caught on. He's like, "Oh, you're Lip. What are you doing with Lip? You told me that you had a part-time job, and you haven't told me exactly what it was."
And now Lip is in front of me.
And now Lip is in front of me. So
Yeah.
you can tell me?
Yeah.
Right?
So
Like
what
I
is
was like,
this?
that
Yeah.
was so fucking smart, because like obviously you would put 2 and 2 together, right? Like it would be very obvious and very easy.
Yeah.
Right?
I have to give him big kudos. Like, I do think Nagisa is good for Hiyori, and I think that, like I said, they're probably, like, especially with the way that the show is setting it up, like, that's probably what's gonna happen, is that Hiyori is going to, like, continue to be, like, the manager of Lip, likely well into their, like, adulthood careers, right? Like,
Yes.
she'll likely be with them the whole way, but she'll likely start operating out of her hometown while he is, like, and end up marrying Nagisa. Like, I assume that, like, that is where the show is going, is that, like, she'll be happy with Nagisa, but her passion and her focus is with Lip, right? Like, that's where I assume, like, the end game is, which, I'm not gonna lie, I would love that time skip where, like, Hiyori's, like, this, like, business-type adult who has to run back and forth from her small town where her and her husband run, like, that restaurant, and then she has to run over into Tokyo to help Lip do concerts and stuff, and they're, like, super sassy with her, and Nagisa, like, when she gets back home, is like, oh, those boys, like, that idea makes me very happy.
Yep. Well, and yeah, I just love how all these characters are super, like, they're smart. They don't just like pander like things, and they don't like just like be completely, you know, like goes over their head constantly, right? It cut right to the chase. The fact that this whole like plot point where like we kind of had a little bit of, not like drama, but we had a little bit of like, you know, it was a little bit of
a scare.
Like a scare this episode, but it wrapped up this episode was great. I mean, he was only there for like a day anyways, like overnight.
Yeah, he was just he was there overnight.
Right, but you know, and then I love that Hiyori thought about it, and she told him, not now. I can't think about love now.
Yes,
so it wasn't a no.
It wasn't a no. It was just, I can't right. She literally says, like, I can't date you right now.
Yes.
Right? Because she's got the accent. I can't date you right now. Right? But she just says right now, and she does say, like, when you confessed, it made me very happy.
Yes.
Right? And Nagisa even says, like, really? Right? Like, that he was like, oh, so you're saying there's a chance, right? It's like, yes. Like, if Nagisa's patient, it'll happen, right? He just has to be patient. Because who the hell knows how long this lip thing is gonna go.
And I think that this was a very good response and a good way to solve this problem, quote unquote.
Yeah, I think the way that that everybody handled it, she could not have done that without Juri and Chizuru though. Like she was absolutely lost.
I love that we got to see them this week, like some actual personality from them this week.
Yeah, because we didn't know a lot about Chizuru in particular.
Yeah, but we now know she's a total like otaku.
Yeah,
obviously.
She's a shoujo otaku. Yeah,
she's a shoujo otaku, which totally makes sense in this show.
Yeah,
you know, like she's like, what do you mean? How like it's you are literally living the life that I want. I love this trope of like childhood friends to lovers, and you're literally living this life.
Yeah, you have a hot childhood friend.
You got the hot childhood friend who'll do anything for you,
and you don't know what to do.
And you don't know what to do. And then Juri's like, don't you think it's a little cliche? Who cares about cliches? I love cliches.
I love cliches.
Are great.
Yeah. Well, I also love like when she was like right up in her face. Her eyes were like her eyes had that pattern that I'm like, did she just activate her fucking Sharingan? Like I was like,
so
what is happening?
Good.
Yeah.
And also like Jury gave some great advice
She
too.
really did. Well, Jury is
And
definitely the smart, wise one of the group, right? Like she's
well, with,
definitely
with
like the
dating,
wisest. Yeah, like she's
with
the one who has like the most life advice to give.
well, cause she talked about like her own boyfriend, right? That
Yeah,
and she talked
which
about how like
which is
you know
adorable.
yeah, which is adorable. I'm like, well, how did you meet your boyfriend, and how did you know, right? And, she's like, well, I went to this cafe, and like he was just my server, like he was cute, just not my type, right? He
Yeah,
really wasn't my type, but then over time, like I really clicked with him, and then he just became my type.
that's
Right?
and
Now
that's the
he is
truth
my
of it.
type,
Yeah,
and that
like
is the truth. Because like,
you
when I hear people go, "That's my type," or like, I that he's not my type," or like, "I have a specific type," a lot of times they are completely boxing themselves into something that could actually be their type.
exactly, right? Like it's funny, right? Because you can have like types,
Yes.
right? But like you also, I noticed like I feel like oftentimes like it's like half and half, where like
Yeah.
half of the people date their type, and then the other half meet people who are super not their type, but they just click, right? It's not
Yeah.
really who your type is; it's who you who you get along with the best.
When I stopped having a type,
Yeah.
right? When I stopped having a type, that was the best decision of my life.
Yeah.
Because like
Now
if
you
I
got this amazing, fantastic, wonderful, epic partner.
yes.
This amazing, tiny golden retriever gamer boy.
It's true. It's true. Well, when I was in high school, right? For the people listening, I'm who might not know, I'm like 6 feet tall, and I've been 6 feet tall since I was like 14, right? Back when I was in high school, I was really, really tall, and taller than a lot of dudes, right? And back then, I was like, I want to date a guy who's taller than me, all these things, blah blah blah, right? And it really limited me on like who I could date, right?
Mhm.
Because as a girl who's really tall, I'm like I have to date a guy who's taller than me, right? That's just how it works. But then when I was like, you know what? At a certain point in my life, I went, you know what? He could be shorter than me, and that's okay, right? And that's fine. And that's like,
And
I'm
then
not gonna have a
along
type.
came me.
And then along came this one,
I am short boy.
who is actually short boy too. Like not just like a little bit shorter than me, like quite a bit shorter than me.
Yeah.
And that's okay. And so Jerry gave like great advice there. It's like sometimes people just become your type. Not that you change them into what you want, but
No.
that your taste of who you like in a person could change based on somebody who just comes into your life,
Oh yeah.
right?
Well,
And it really should be
and
about who you click with, not like do they fit the boxes.
exactly. And types change, right? Like
Yes.
when I when I was younger, it was like I was more interested in girls that were like my height or smaller. And then I got older and realized that yes, the way is tall girls who can beat me up.
That's me.
Yes.
That's me.
Yep.
But yeah, Jury gave such great advice there. But overall, like the characters in the show are just so grounded.
They are. They're
And
really great.
I haven't sat there and been like, you made such a stupid decision. Like that was the
Yeah.
most stupid thing I've ever. This isn't like a Vampire Night ordeal.
Yeah, where it's like, why are you all so dumb? But that's the enjoyable part of Vampire Night. Is like,
It's
why
true,
are
that
you
is
all so dumb?
that is
You
the
know, like,
enjoyable. No,
yeah.
this isn't like Wolf Girl and Black Prince levels.
That's
of
it. Yeah, where it's
stupid.
like, why are you all terrible people? Right? Like, yeah, that's
Like it
yeah.
doesn't make sense.
It
Yeah.
doesn't make sense. Well, it's funny. Anytime that the characters have ever made a decision that I'm like, why did you do that? Right? Like, it's always rooted in either their characters, like their character profile, like who they are, or in their youth, right? The fact that they're teenagers. Like, because we've talked
Yes.
about this before, that like sometimes you see characters who you're like, you just want to shake them because you're like, why'd you do that? Right? But it's because they're written well as a teenager, right? Like you said, like Yuki
Yeah.
from Noragami. Like when we were talking like off, this isn't like a video. If anyone's like, I missed that video, like no, we were just talking. But like Yuki from Noragami, Reki from Skate, like these are examples of characters who are like, they make decisions that make you want to get angry because they're like reckless or stupid, but it's because they're teenagers, right? And it makes me think of Hiyori like running on a broken ankle, right? Because it's like that's a teenage thing to do, right? To be like, I got this, I can do this, right? And meanwhile, it's like that there goes nationals, right? Like that's not good. But it's because A, she's a teenager and she's reckless, and B, that's just kind of who Hiyori is, right?
Yeah.
So even when they make decisions that I don't agree with, I understand because it's perfectly within character.
Yeah, exactly. There hasn't been a decision where I'm like, that just made no sense whatsoever.
Exactly.
Like, no, even with their character, it made no sense. Like, I don't recall. Like, this series, we were talking about this before we started recording. It's just so sad that, like, nobody's talking about the series and nobody's, like, looking at the series.
It's so
and
good.
I know we say this probably every week, but, like, I've been enjoying the shit out of this. Like, it's been a while since I've enjoyed this, like, a shoujo in so long.
Yeah.
Right? I mean, there's not been a lot of shoujo. Like, so that, I guess that might be it, but it's just a really solid, good story, a really solid plot points, really solid, like, writing, characters, and just all of the above. Like, I haven't seen one like this in a while. Well, besides Fruits Basket, but that's like an anomaly. Like, Fruits Basket is like top of the top. Like, it is even top of the top for anime overall, not just shoujo. So you know, like, it's you know,
that's the cream of the crop.
It is the cream of the crop. That is true.
Yeah,
just,
but
like,
this is definitely my favorite. Yeah, this is definitely my favorite shoujo, like, of this year. Like, this, like, and it's probably one of my favorite, like, rom-coms. Like, this has been...
Yeah.
Well, it's not really a rom-com, though. It's more of just, like, a general slice-of-life comedy.
Yes.
Because it's not... I mean, like, there's romance in it, right? Like, Nagisa... And it's very sweet. Like, the way that the episode ends with Nagisa and everything. Like,
I'm not gonna lie. Like, when he told her about, like, how he said, like, he wants to be her prince and that she is a heroine in his eyes.
That she was always a heroine.
Yeah, she was always a heroine. I'm not gonna lie, it kind of made me tear up a little bit.
Yeah, it was very sweet. I was like, that was the perfect thing to say.
So sweet.
Yeah.
So sweet.
Well, and it's to me, it cements that I'm like, this is the right dude. Because, like, the boys are like her best friends, right? Like, Juri and her and Chizuru are also her friends, but, like, let's be real, Lip are her best friends, right? Like, so, like, they are definitely, like, guiding her, but Nagisa's her, like, that's her partner, right? Like, that, I was like, that kind of sealed it for me, where I'm like, yeah, that's her guy. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's such a sweet thing to say.
I'm like that, and he is for her. Like,
yes,
he is absolutely for her, and you can't tell me otherwise. Like, you cannot tell me. I mean, sure, Lip ship and Lip and Hiyori, my OT3. I do ship it, but, like, I for her, because, like, that's an unrealistic ship, obviously.
Yeah, it's the one it's your favorite, but it doesn't make sense, like, narratively.
It doesn't make sense narratively. Nagisa is like, I still like Nagisa and Hiyori. Like, absolutely love them. I just like the OT3.
Now, you know? Aizo and Yujiro though. Now that could make some sense now. That's pretty good.
Yeah, and next week is called Idols Run the Show, so we'll see what happens next week. I'm excited. My prediction is that it is time for the school festival, like, sports festival, you know, like,
that
every anime.
Sense. Yeah,
every anime they have
the
sports
like festival.
Yeah, where they, you know, like, they do, like, the tournament stuff, and they do, like, the relay.
That'd be interesting, because Hiyori's leg should be healed up, because, like, Nagisa does say, like, I thought you'd be upset when you didn't make it to nationals, but, like, you seem okay. Well, it's also because, like, I'm pretty sure high school just started for them, I think.
Yeah.
So she has, like, 2 more shots, right? So she's fine. But I wonder if we're gonna see her run, because we don't really get to see much of Hiyori's, like, actual dream in the show. You know, so it'd be cool to see her, like, running, right? Just to prove to the boys, like, look, I'm really good at this. You know?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I would like that. But, yeah. Is that everything?
Yeah, I think so.
All right. Well, with that said, outro. And that's going to do it for today's video, everybody. So we hope you all enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to boop that up snoot. Share the video around. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to our lovely patrons. Look at these beautiful people. All these people who help keep this channel afloat. I sincerely appreciate it. And of course, I have to give a big thank you to Asaki VT, Elizabeth Just Elizabeth, Jeremy P, Matt87 Eagle, Shadow Creative, Shiorins, Stephen G, Stevie W, Trapmaster, Trevor W, and Tristan G. Thank you all once again so much for continuing to support the channel over on Patreon or here on YouTube just by watching the videos. I sincerely appreciate it. Be good, and we will see you next time.